I'm going to give you options as the market changes. I
Yeah.
can adjust it, and they can always go back and look at
Because everyone's always looking for the lowest rate, and I try to tell them like it's not always about the lowest rate.
it isn't,
It's what's
but
saving you the most money in the long run.
that's the emotional
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's because our industry is horrible, and that's all we know how to advertise is a low rate. So we've done it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aside from my soul. Because sometimes they call me when I'm in the middle of showing a house and say, I got to call the lender and find out what's going on. Here, I don't have to call. I just know.
Yeah.
I get the update all the time.
Okay.
And
That's
good.
good.
That's critical for everyone to know.
Yeah.
Because the more we can reduce the calls up front, the more we can be actually working on more revenue generating items, right?
Well, and that's better for everyone.
Yep. So that's a big thing. I mean, we try to do three things exceptionally well: educate, communicate, and just execute.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you say you're going to do. So the education, it comes in form of like what we do here, right? We're always filming, we're always documenting what's going on so that we can find content that maybe can help other people. I don't know who it's helping, but I know that it helps, and I don't know what they need to hear in that moment. Sometimes it's going to be a title person listening to the conversation. Oh my God, that's great. And they tell another lender, that's perfectly fine. That helps them, right? Or it's a client that hears us talking about what's happening in the market just because we're always documenting things.
Yeah.
And that helps them get a rate lock with their lender if they're not using me. You just got to be willing to give. So that's where the education comes in. We also do it one-on-one with the customer. So we provide, like when we're having a conversation and they're trying to like look at loan options. So people learn differently. You would agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So some people can hear it and be okay with that. Some people need to see it and see it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do is we build a total cost analysis, okay, that would lay out, let's say, a conventional loan compared to two different types, or a conventional loan, an FHA loan, and a down payment assistance loan, let's say.
Yeah.
And we're going to lay it out side by side so they can see the sales price, they can see the interest rates, they can see the monthly payments, and they can see their cash to close. Everything that goes into that. And so they can decide what's the best one for them. Now, we'll make a recommendation based on our conversation with the client.
At the end of the day,
But we're going to say, hey, this is what I recommend that we do, right? And then from there, they'll make a decision and we'll go. But what it does is it also reduces like buyer's remorse. Let's say, I wish I wouldn't have bought this because I didn't know my numbers. Because people go under contract sometimes before they ever know their numbers.
Yeah.
We're trying to give them all that up front. So we may show, like this one, we showed two options, a $165,000 purchase price. One, them paying all the money, right? Lower interest rate, having an out-of-pocket expense between $13,000 and this one, at $6,000. And then just which one, like, what's the monthly payment difference? It's $92. Which one saves you the most money over 5 years, and which one costs you the most money in interest over 15 years, right? So we want to give them the numbers because that's where it's most powerful.
Yeah.
And then they're saying, you know
Well,
what?
it can deter them from shopping around too, because you wanted a lower rate somewhere. This is the lower rate, but these are why the numbers are different.
Right.
So.
I'm going to give you options as the market changes. I
Yeah.
can adjust it, and they can always go back and look at
Because everyone's always looking for the lowest rate, and I try to tell them like it's not always about the lowest rate.
It
It's
isn't,
what's
but
saving you the most money in the long run.
that's the emotional
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's because our industry is horrible, and that's all we know how to advertise is a low rate. So we've done it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. But the reality is, if you need an advisor, somebody to go through that conversation with you, it's going to take somebody like myself or other sound originators that understand this concept.
Yeah.
And they'll lay it out and they'll say, hey, look, yes, you wanted the lower rate, but your money's coming from a retirement account that you're going to have to pay tax on. When you factor in the tax that you're paying on that money, and you're only going to live in the house for so many years, this is why I recommend going with this program with less money, because you end up saving more. And that money continues to compound with interest, because we'll show them all that in the reinvestment strategy. This is a great tool. Everybody gets these things. And sometimes what happens is there's lack of trust. They don't know, right? So the way that you get trust really quickly is just give transparency. Look, let's just give you everything you want to know.
Yeah.
We don't have to, sometimes I have to pull, I'll just give you the numbers. Let's go through the numbers first, because that's where most people will start. and they're getting
Yeah.
nervous about it. And so
They also
let's
want to hear it sometimes.
let's
Yeah.
give you the numbers. Let's let you look at everything. Oh, I didn't realize I could do that. Yeah, see, now we got to build your profile. We got to look at credit. We got to do all those kind of things to make
Yeah.
sure all this makes sense. But if it does, these are the numbers we can honor,
Yeah.
right? And so that's what we use to gain trust really quickly, is just bring everything into it, be fully transparent. They can see every line item that we're estimating.
Mhm.
And then it also helps, like with Elwyn, like they may be looking at a home at 250, 275, and 300.
Mhm.
Well, emotionally, they may feel like they can't do the 300 because they think it's going to be so much more in out-of-pocket expense or so much more in monthly payment.
Yeah.
When you break it out between that and that analysis, they're like, oh, well, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And then that gets them into a better house, a better neighborhood, a better school district. And instead of 250, they're all the way up to 300, and they're like, okay, I can comfortably do this.